Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. All right, guys, today I'm going to be showing you how you can utilize a rhinestone template that's directly made inside of Cricut Design Space. So here we are. We have a blank canvas. We're going to go to Images. We're going to type in Rhinestone. And click on the magnifying glass. Now these are all rhinestone designs inside Cricut Design Space. And you want to pay very close attention to them because you can see that in each image some dots are larger than the other. But I'm going to show you today how you can take one of these and you can turn it into whatever size rhinestone you want to make it, and even change it to a single type of rhinestone template. Okay, so the one that I'm going to be working with today is this cross. So I'm going to go ahead and select it, and in the bottom right corner click Add to Canvas, and I'm going to duplicate it so you can see just how much larger it's going to be when we're done here. So let's duplicate it again because apparently Cricut didn't get the memo. We're going to hide that one. So right now it's at 3.247 by 5.322, and the stones are smaller than an SS10, and I want an SS10 to work with. Okay, so what we're going to do is the first thing is we're going to select our image and we're going to select ungroup. Okay, once you ungroup it, we're going to hide one layer, so we're going to hide the second layer. And then we'll just work with this one and we'll come back and work with the other one. So once you hide one of the layers, you're going to click on your image and you're going to come down to the bottom right corner and select contour. And when Cricut is done thinking here, we're going to select hide all contours right here in the bottom right corner. And it's going to leave us with just one piece of our image. Okay, so just one little circle, as you can see kind of in the background here. So we're going to click on this X, and it shows you that these holes are 0.099 and we need them to be 0.135 for a SS10. So we're going to come up here, and in the width we're going to type in 0.135, and it's going to automatically change your width, your height to 0.135. Once we do that, just click off of it and then click back on it and go back to contour in the bottom right corner. And now it's going to show us all of our image again. And this time we're going to select Show All Contours. Still thinking here. All right, so now we've clicked on Show All Contours, and you can see the images here on the left-hand side in the background. So we're going to click on the X, and now all of the little holes have been changed to accommodate an SS10. If we look at our initial design, you can see how much smaller the original design is over what we just did. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hide that again, and then we're going to bring back our second layer, just by clicking on the eye. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take and we're going to also make these in SS10. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click on our image. We're going to come down to the bottom right and select contour. We're going to hide all contours. It's going to leave us with just one circle. I'm going to exit out and we're going to change that to a 0.135. Okay, and then we're going to click off of it, click back on, and we're going to go back to contour. And this time we're going to say show all contours. Okay, and now it's going to resize all of those to an SS10 as well. So I'm going to try to get these to make sure it looks kind of centered to me. So if you want to turn this into a single layer where all of the stones will be the same color, you can do that, which is what I'm going to do. So we're going to come over to our layers here on the right hand side and we're going to select color sync. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the orange or goldish color. We're going to move that. Then maybe move that one, but it's too late. But I put them all under the orange or gold color. And so now it's going to have the same color rhinestones. Okay, so we're going to go back to layers. And now you want to highlight the entire image and you want to go back to group. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, once we group that, we're going to come down to the bottom and we're going to click on attach. And what that is going to do is to keep all of our rhinestones intact and keep them from jumping all over the screen when we go to our next step, okay? So at this point, we have changed our image from the original, which was a 3.247 by 5.322 to an actual 4.427 by 7.257, okay? Because we're using all SS10s and all one color. At this point, we're ready to click on Make It. And there's your design. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. And at this point, we're ready to start cutting. All right, so I'm gonna be using a different type of, well, it's a magic flock or flock material, but they are already pre-cut into 12 by 8s, I believe it is. And so I'm going to be using that today, and I'll show it here in a moment on the screen to you. But it comes in a little set with both the magic flock and also the transfer that comes with it. Okay, and I like it because it also gives you the cutting instructions and tells you exactly how to cut this particular flock. And I'm surprised to see that it says that you're going to do one time only. So I'm going to do the one time just to see if it's going to cut on that. All right, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on continue. So we know we need our flock on our mat to come at least over to the 5 mark and over and down to the 8 mark in order for it to get the entire image, okay? So a 5 by 8 is the size square that we would need, but I'm just going to put my whole sheet down. So we're going to click continue in the bottom right corner. Now I'm going to show you how to set up the material for this particular flock. So we're going to click on browse all material. And we're going to come down to the bottom left and select material setting. So we're just going to call, we're going to actually see what we have out here. And I'm going to go in, give me 1 second here. And exit out of that. Let me go back. we're going to go to Browse. And I'm going to look at the flock that's already out here. Let's see, Magic Flock. All right, so I'm just going to type in flock and search. So they have two out here. This one I actually created myself. This is flocked paper. This is flocked iron-on, which I'm sure it's neither one of those. So I'm going to exit out of that. We're going to go back to Browse All Material. And we're going to go to Material Setting. And we're going to create our own material for this particular fabric. So in the bottom left corner, you're going to click on Add New Material. And you're going to give it a name. And this one I'm going to call, let's see if I can get a good name off of this little package here. This one says Sticky Flock. So we're going to try Sticky Flock. And I'm just going to put my initials on the end. That way I know I made this. And I'm going to click on Save. Now we're going to locate that Sticky Flock. And we need the pressure, according to the manufacturer, we need the pressure to be at 265 for a Cricut. So we're going to just click on this little radio dial and bring it up to 265. There we go. And we're going to do a multi-cut. Actually, it says one time, so we're going to leave this off. But when you're doing a multi-cut, this is where you can do 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, etc. So it says one time, so we're going to leave it on off, and you're using the fine point blade, and we're going to save. Okay. Once we have set up our material here, we're going to go ahead and click on Done. And now I'm going to browse all material again because I can only have so many favorites. So I'm just going to type in Sticky and click on the magnifying glass. And we're going to click on Sticky Flock DE. That's the one we just set up, and Done in the bottom right corner. So now it's going to pick up the Sticky Flock material that we just set up in Cricut Design Space. All right. So at this point, I'm going to take a chance here and leave it on default pressure. And like I said, if it doesn't cut through, then I'm just going to put it back through to cut again. But there's nothing going to be in clamp A. We have our fine point blade in clamp B, and we're ready to get started here with the cut. All right, so I'm going to come up on camera here. All right, guys, here we are. So these are the pre-cut sheets. Like I said, they're about a 12.8. So anytime you're using Sticky Flock, Magic Flock, they always highly recommend that you take off the white backing before you actually get ready to put this on your mat. We're going to be using the purple mat here today. And so I'm going to turn this over and lay it out. And again, you want to make sure that you are using a very sticky mat, guys. You do not want to, you want to make sure your mat is really sticky. If it's not, then you're going to end up with possibly your material moving around on your mat, which is going to, cause you all kinds of problems and headaches that you don't want. Now this does, I have the Magic Flock. This is called Sticky Flock. This does feel a little bit thinner than the Magic Flock, but we'll see if it's going to cut here. So again, you want to make sure it's really good and sticky to your mat. And we're going to go ahead and put this into my Cricut Maker. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the arrows to load the mat. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on the Cricut logo to get it to start printing or cutting here. I said printing, but cutting, not printing. There's no printing going on. And then I'm going to be using, I have these purple velvet beads or rhinestones from Beadland that I'm going to be using. I think this is going to be really pretty because I'm going to be putting it on a red shirt. So we're going to test this out and see if it works. All right. So we took a design, a rhinestone design from Cricut Design Space, and we resized it to accommodate the size of an SS10. SS10 is going to be 0.135 in Cricut Design Space. And we're just going to see if this works for us. And if it does, then this is one way, guys, when you need a really quick, cute template, rhinestone template design, and you have the Cricut access, you can go right into Cricut, use that design for free. You don't have to worry about paying anybody for that template, and you can make it your own. You can save this template to say, you know, cross rhinestone SS10, so you'll know going forward that this one is an SS10. Now, we know the one that is in Cricut currently is not an SS10. So we're going to be using these purple velvet. Purple velvet is the name of the color. And I can't get them to kind of turn around here for you. Let's see if some of them will come through so you can kind of see. But it's called purple velvet. I think these will be really pretty for this design. So it's at 24%. We're going to see if it cuts through. I'm going to pause you until it finishes. And then we'll take a look and see if it cut all the way through. If it did, fabulous. I will get the sticky flock going forward, because the magic flock, it takes 2 passes, which is actually 4 cuts for it to do its thing. So I will be right back. All right, guys, so I just finished cutting. I'm just going to lift up just to see if it cut all the way through. And it did not, which I did not think it would with that setting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure that my blade doesn't have any fabric, and it did have like a little piece of fabric on there. That's number 1. And I'm going to put this back through again and see if it will cut. I'm not going to unload my mat. All I'm going to do is just click on the Cricut logo and have it to go right back through and attempt to cut again. So we're going to see if that little piece of magic flop that was on that on my fine point blade was stopping it from actually cutting. So we'll see, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so this time it actually cut, but it did not cut with that setting at 265. So I had to go back to my magic flock that I created. I think I had it set at 290. I had to go back to that one where it cuts twice, but which is really 4 times. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and pop this out. And I always start pulling just to make sure that it did cut. And as you guys can see, it did cut. So, and I should have cut this down, but I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. I just used the full sheet for no reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut this now and see if I can salvage it. See if I can salvage it. So give me 1 second, guys. Even though this sticky flock feels thinner than that magic flock, I was surprised that it wouldn't cut. It would not cut, because I just thought that because it felt thinner that it would, you know, but now it didn't. So at least I was able to salvage this right here and use it for another time. Let me get this over here. I want to get it on there good so I don't have any sticky part hanging off. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and take off our thingamajiggy here. And this is the fun part. This is where when you see little parts that did not just pop all the way out like the ones that are stuck to the mat, you got to play around with it. Give me 1 second. So I just take my weeding tool or something and just kind of like, you know, get out all the little bits. But I'll tell you, this carpet is going to have all kinds of magic flop, sticky flop, rhinestones, you name it. So I just go in and punch those out. And sometimes you can go back down on the mat and then lift back up. Sometimes that will work. As you can see, it picked up a whole lot of them there. Let me try it one more time. Let's see if I can get the rest of them that did not collect on my fingers. Being careful not to puncture myself. All right. Let's try it again. All right, so it's coming along here. I'm gonna try it one more time up top. So this one little side. Okay. And right in this little area right here. So you can see all those little dots that needed to come out. Because you just want to have nothing but your little holes for your rhinestones. Still a couple of them that's acting crazy. All righty. And what I do is I take this and I put it on the back of like some cardstock so that I can have this as a template. And that way, if I ever want to do this design again, I don't have to go back through the process of cutting it all over again. I can just pick up my template and lay my rhinestones down. Let me try to turn this around so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. It's kind of dark in here. All right, let's see if we can get those to come off. All right, so I'm gonna finish getting out these little holes because I don't want to run up a whole bunch of time if you're just watching me getting these little things out. So I'm gonna get all these out and put it on some cardstock, and then we're gonna see how our rhinestones lay in here. Okay, give me 1 minute. All right, guys, I think I got them all out. There's the design as I touch another one of those little inserts there. So I got them all out, and I got shirts laying on top of my dress, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I just lay it on a piece of cardstock, just like that, and then I cut it down to size, and that way I can use this as a template going forward. Just like that, and it's just that easy. All right, so now we got our design, and all we have to do now is put our rhinestones down. So again, I'm using this purple velvet, which I think will be really pretty on this red shirt. Make sure I get the right color. These are pretty too. It's aquamarine. All right, so I got my rhinestones here, and I'm gonna put my little mat down, kind of help me not to make a big mess. Now, some people use trays. I think I have a tray, but I get to this point and it's too late for me to go get it. So I just go with the flow. So what I'm going to do is take my rhinestones and pour them all out. And you want to use kind of like a circular motion with your rhinestone little brush. Kind of want to use like a circular motion to get the rhinestones going in the right direction. And if you end up having some that are like, oh, this is going to be so pretty. If you end up having some that are like doubled up, then, you want to make sure you move those. And if you have some that are not going in the right direction, you want to move those as well. Now, I'm not going to be lifting this up. I do it on every video. I say I'm not going to lift it up. Then I try to lift it up to show you. And then I make a mess and have to start over. So I will not be lifting this up. But it is absolutely gorgeous in this purple violet. It is so pretty. And I cannot wait to put it on my shirt. But you just want to kind of go in a circular motion or whatever motion works for you to get your rhinestones all in there. But they are fitting perfectly. Now, because I did this from Cricut, of course, I don't know how many rhinestones it will take. All that good stuff that you would normally get if you purchase this template from someone on Etsy or something like that. Normally, it'll tell you how many rhinestones in this color and that color and so on and so forth. So I just kind of had to, wing it. Wing it. All right. So you guys, hopefully you can kind of see here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go around and make sure that I get a rhinestone in each one of my little holes. In addition, I'm going to make sure that I don't have any kind of like doubled up. So what I will do is try to bring this around so you can see it, but I will not be lifting it up. Nope. Once I get it on the transfer tape, I'll be more than happy to lift it up. But you guys can see how it's coming out there, hopefully. And what I'm going to do at this time, and what you will want to do at this time, is make sure you start filling up any little holes that you don't see a rhinestone there. You want to make sure that you get one in there. And if you have any that are like doubled up, you want to make sure that you remove the extra ones. Okay, so that's what I'm going to work on. And then once I get it, get ready to put the transfer tape on, then I'll come back and we'll finish up. All right. All right, guys, so I have all my rhinestones in place now. And with this little set that comes with the pre-cut sheets, I think they're 12 by 8 or 12 by 9, somewhere in there. It also comes with the transfer tape that's already pre-cut as well. So I'm just going to grab one of the transfer tapes, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to size to make sure that I have enough. And get it just right. So I think this will be good. All right, when you're going to take the clear piece off, And that white backing is just going to be trash. And you're going to take this and you want to kind of go in like a U, kind of have it like in a U shape. But you want to be committed because once it lays down, you cannot pick it up, or you should not. Let me just say you should not pick it up. So I'm going to stop talking so I can concentrate. Okay. And then it comes with a little tool here to help you with just making sure that you put all of your, you get all of your rhinestones in position and that they're stuck to the transfer tape. Now I do see one that turned over, so I'm going to have to fix it. But for the most part, we're good. Now this is the part where I can pick it up and not have to worry about it. But I always like to take a look. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know it has like a little bit of a glare on there, but there's one right there that turned over as soon as I put the transfer tape on it. So I'm going to have to fix that one. But for the most part, everything else is in place. And it's not bad for us to have converted this over from whatever size it was rhinestone made for to fit SS10s. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all these in place and make sure no other ones turned over. But so far it just looked like that one. You always got to have one eyeball out, right? And you're just going to lift up on your transfer tape. If you see any of your rhinestones left behind, just put the tape back down and press on it. And there we go. We got them all off. And it's very easy to see the eyeball out. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's right there. So I'm going to have to flip that one over without making a mess. So I'm going to flip that one over. I'm going to get it into position, and then we're going to take this to the heat press. I have my shirts here because I'm going to be pressing a couple of things here tonight. But I'm going to be putting this on this red shirt. I think it's going to be gorgeous right there. And I'm going to wear it to my physical therapy appointment tomorrow. So I'm going to flip this one rhinestone over. And get it back into position. Just like that. It's just that easy. Just making sure they are all good, and they are. All right, so I'm going to heat up my heat press. I'm going to have you join me at my heat press, and we're going to press these for about 15 seconds, and we'll be good to go. And now we have, or now I have a template that I can use anytime I want to do this cross without having to cut it again, okay? So I know that little part right there looks so ugly. But I was trying to keep as much sticky flock as I could. But there we have it, SS10 that we converted over or changed over from a rhinestone, whatever size those stones were made for this project in Cricut Design Space. We changed it to an SS10. I showed you how to do that. And I've now shown you how to put your rhinestones down and utilize the transfer tape. Always kind of go in the U position and then outward instead of outward and in, because if it shifts in, then you've pretty much messed up your design. So start in the middle and then go outward. And then I'm going to put these back and I'll have you join me at the heat press. All right. Hey guys, I got to tell you all something. So you all know that I've been doing the hot fix rhinestones now for about, I guess it's been about a month. And one of the things I just realized is that I ordered these rhinestones, and this one says flat back, which means they're not hot fix. So I put these down on the little cross and everything, and I've tried to iron them on twice before coming back to look at what is the problem, because they wouldn't stick to my red shirt. Because remember, initially I was going to put them on this red shirt. Well, they wouldn't stick. Now I know why, because they're not hot fix rhinestones. So be careful when you're ordering that you get the ones that say hot fix, okay? So I ended up going with these instead. And this is the aquamarine, and it is so pretty. I can't wait for you guys to see it here in just a moment when I can actually hold it up, because I'm not going to hold it up because I don't want to have to turn around and redo this all over again. But all of my stones fit perfectly. Let's see, one doubled up right there. Always check and make sure you don't have any doubled up. You know, before you put your transfer tape. So I haven't added my transfer tape, so I had to come back on before I take you to the heat press, because I like to keep it on the up and up with you guys. And then I want you to see it and be like, that's not the color she put on that thing. But yeah, make sure that you are ordering the ones that say hot fix and not flat back. Now, what will I do with those other flat back ones? I have absolutely no idea, because I just don't know. So I have to figure that out at another day and time, but it won't be today. All right, so I'm just taking off the ones that had a little doubled up stones on them and making sure everything is good. And I normally just take my finger and roll it over, because then you can kind of feel if there's any, you know, that are doubled up. But hopefully you guys can see that pretty good without me lifting it up. That aquamarine is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to get my transfer tape here. And I'm going to cut it down to size. And we're going to get this party started right. So I'm going to heat press this at 320 for about 15 seconds. So we're just going to get this cut down to the size we need. And then we're going to clean these up, because one of the things I do mess up is I will start using my transfer tape and then realize that it might pick up some of the beads on the side. So let me kind of clean up a little mess here. This aquamarine is gorgeous. That purple velvet was really pretty too, but like I said, it's the wrong kind. It's not hot fix, and I'm glad I only got one of those and the rest of them say hot fix, because I was about to lose my mind if I had a bunch of flat back. I don't even know what those are used for. If they're used where you have to do individual glue on the back, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna never happen. All right, so I'm gonna get all these back in the bag. I heard one fall. So don't do like me, guys. Get hot fix, not some, let's see what it say again, flat back. Don't get flat back. Got a couple beads over there. And other than that, we're cleaned up fairly nicely here. So now we're going to put our transfer tape on again. And last time when I did it to the side, it worked really good. So I'm going to go the side instead of the long way. And just being extra careful. But this aquamarine, y'all, is so pretty. And I'm going to put it on a gray shirt, which I think would be gorgeous. All right, so this is one of the shirts that I did, and you guys saw the tutorial, I'm pretty sure, on this one. It says bless. I absolutely love the rhinestones. All right, so again, we're going to go in the U position. Make sure that you have full coverage. and then go outward, just like that. And I'm going to use my little stick here just to make sure we got them all on. Again, 320 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 seconds, and we'll be good to go. But you guys can see how nicely it turned out. That 0.135 was perfect inside Cricut Design Space. And so now we're going to go ahead and go to the heat press. So what I like to do is when you're pulling up, just make sure if any of your rhinestones are left behind, you just push this back down and then use your finger and press over it. And there we have it. Now all of our rhinestones are on our transfer sheet. And there we go. All right. So we just took this design, this rhinestone template from Cricut Design Space. We changed it from whatever the rhinestone size was, because it didn't display. We changed it from whatever it was to a SS10. So I showed you how to do that by utilizing contour. And when you change one of the little holes and then go back and bring it back together, it'll change all the holes to whatever size you changed that one to. All right. So go in there and play around with some of those designs. I'm going to go ahead and iron this on my shirt, on my gray shirt, so you can see that it works. And you won't think you're losing your mind, because I tried twice, guys, to press those things onto the shirt. I'm like, why is it not sticking? And now I know why. Okay. All right. So I'll see you at the press in a moment. All right, guys, here we are. I have my heat press. I said 320, but I have it set at 330. I'm going to press it for about 15 seconds. I have everything down. I'm going to stand up here and we're going to go ahead and get started. All righty. We're at 8 seconds. 5. And done. Alrighty. And you can do a hot peel. And just like that, we're done. So I'm going to show it to you here. All done inside Cricut Design Space. Did not have to purchase a template from Etsy. So please, please, please go out, check out some of those templates directly in Cricut Design Space. And you can utilize those. I got something right here on my little shirt. But that turned out really, really nicely. Pull it down so you guys can see it. There we go. It turned out really, really nicely. All done inside Cricut Design Space. Didn't have to purchase a template. I showed you how to adjust the templates to get an SS10 size or whatever size it is that you need of your rhinestone, and also how to take it from a multi-layer, which is 2 colors, to just 1 color. And I think it turned out really nicely. So you guys, let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, like I said, address those in the comments and I'll respond to you. And again, make sure you're using hot fix rhinestones and not flat back. I don't know how I slipped up and got some flat back rhinestones, but when it wasn't sticking to my shirt, I'm like, what is going on? Because I know Beadland is a really good supplier, so I knew it wasn't Beadland, so I had to go back and look at my packaging. So make sure that your rhinestones say hot fix. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. So if you're currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you guys so much for the love and support via YouTube. If you're not subscribed and you like my method of teaching, then please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I have over 350 tutorials out there on all different types of crafts. And also, if you're currently following me on Facebook, which my Facebook group is Ken Doris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, thank you guys so much for the support via Facebook. If you would like to join my Facebook group, just send me a Facebook group request to Ken Doris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, and we'll go ahead and get you a part of our group. And yeah, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And you guys know my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.